Good afternoon children. Welcome to today's class. As we have finished with the chapter mensuration, that is chapter 10 in your second semester reader, let us start with the next chapter, that is chapter 11. This chapter is about algebra. Have you heard about algebra? Algebra is nothing but a branch of mathematics. As you have learned about geometry, it is another branch of mathematics, that is algebra. Algebra deals with use of letters. That means alphabets like X, Y, Z or A, B, C, anything like that. It deals with, we use these letters to write the rules and formulas in a general way. So what is algebra? Algebra is a branch of mathematics where we use the letters. Okay? Let us learn more about this. Okay? Now, let us see, if you have to make the shape L, for example. Yes, this is a L. Okay. If you have to make this L using the matchsticks, how many matchsticks will you use to make a L? Yes, you can use 2 matchsticks and form L. Is it or not? Look, if this is a matchstick, we keep another matchstick here. So how many matchsticks we have used here? We have used here 2 matchsticks. If you have to write, if you have to make 2L, that is, one is here, another is here. How many matchsticks you have used here? You have used here 4 matchsticks. Yes. Similarly, if you have to make 3Ls, one is here, one is here, another is here. So, if you have to make 3 matchsticks, how many you have used? You have used here 6. Here, you have used 2 to make how many matchsticks? How many L's? You have used 2 matchsticks to make 1 L. Here, you have used how many matchsticks? You have used 4 matchsticks, that is 2 matchsticks each to make each L. So 2 L's you have used. So you have used 2 into 2. That is, we have made 2 L's. Here we need 2 matchsticks to make 1 L. So here we have 3 L's. So we have used 3 matchsticks. 2 into 3, that is 6 matchsticks. Now similarly, if you have to make, suppose you think you have to make 10 L's. 10 L's if you have to make, how many matchsticks do you need? Yes, basically 1 if you want to make, you need 2. Here we need 10 L's. So 2 is multiplied by 10. That is, we need how many matchsticks? We need 20 matchsticks. Okay, so here we can keep this 2 as the common one, that is, to make 1 L we need 2. How many L we need? Let it be some N or X or whatever it is, N. What is this N? N can be 2 or 3 or 10 or 15 or whatever it is. Okay, now look here, if you have to make, suppose you want to make 15 L's like this using the matchsticks. Okay, how many matchsticks do you need? We know it is 2 into whatever number of L's you need, that is the 15. So we need 30 matchsticks to make this. So generally we can write this as 2N. Yes, to make it clear, I will show you another example. Now, you think For a the cost of one pencil is rupees 10. Cost of one pencil, that is cost of one pencil is rupees 10. Yes. What will be the cost of 2 pencil? It is 20. What is the cost of 3 pencil? It is 30. What is the cost of 5 pencils? It is 50. What is the cost of m number of pencils? What is the cost of m number of pencils? Can you tell? It is, what is it? 10m. Why have I written as 10m? 10 is the cost of the pencil. M is the number of pencil. It can be anything. The M can take any place. Yes. So, if you multiply 10 into the number of pencil we need, we get the basic answer. The 10 can be, M can be anything. Now, suppose you want to buy 8 number of pencils. So, 10 into 8, we need 80 rupees. So, what is this M? In the before one, in the matchstick one, I showed it as N. Is it or not? What are these M, N, all these letters represent? All these are called variables. That is, all the alphabets, that is M or N or X or A or B, all these are called variables. All these are called variables. What do you mean by variables? Variables are the alphabet, means it doesn't have a common, its value is not constant. Okay, what are these 1, 2, 3 or 6 or 11 or 14 or what are these called? They are called constants. They are called constants. All these are constants and all these are called variables. Okay, now let us see some more example. I'll read out the example from the reader. If you have 50 mangoes in a box, if there are 50 mangoes in a box, there are 50 mangoes in a box. Okay. How will you write the total number of mangoes in terms of boxes if use B for the number of boxes? You need, in one box there is how many mangoes? There are 50 mangoes. Therefore, in B number of mangoes, B is a variable. In B number of boxes, how many mangoes will be there? That is, we can write it as 50B. That is 50 into B. Here we don't represent into. It is understood when a number is, that means a constant, and a variable is there without any symbol, it means there is a multiplication sign there. So 50B. So how many mangoes are there in B boxes? There are 50B mangoes. That means 50 is the number of mangoes in one box. Number of boxes is B, so 50B it is. Now let us see another example. A teacher distributes 5 pencils per student. 5 pencils to each student, that is per student. The teacher has distributed how many pencils? 5 pencils to each student. Give the number of, how many, can you tell how many pencils are needed given the number of students is S? There are S number of students. How many students are there? There are S number of students. So how many pencils you need to give it to S number of students? We need 5S number of pencils. How many pencils you need? 5S number of pencils. 5 is the pencil which is given to each student. How many students are there? There are S number of students. S can be 10 or 20 or 50 or whatever it is. So 5S number of pencils is needed to distribute it to S number of students. So this is the way, this is called algebraic expressions. These are called algebraic expressions. In our previous chapter, we learnt about the perimeter and area, isn't it? What is the perimeter of a rectangle? It is represented as 2L plus 2B. Here, what is L and what is B? L is the length and B is the breadth. Is it common for all the sums or for all the rectangles? Is the length and breadth same? No. So, length and breadth can take any value. Yes, length and breadth can take any value. These are variables and this is an expression. Now, what is the area of a rectangle? It is L into B. What is L into B? Length into breadth. Length can be anything for each rectangle. For some rectangle it may be 5, for some it will be 7, for some it will be 14. It can take any value. Or even the breadth can take any value. It may be 2 or 8 or 16, whatever it is. So, this is L into B. These are called variables. It can take any value. To represent them in a general way, we use these variables. In this chapter, we are learning the basics of algebra. Algebra is a branch of mathematics. Okay, children? Now let us learn how to write an expression using the variables. Okay? Now look, as I showed you, this is an expression, this is an expression, then 6 plus y, it is an expression, 5x is also an expression. You have learned 2 into L plus B, this is also an expression. So, what do you mean by expression? Expressions can be only numbers or it can be variables and numbers together, but there will be a fundamental operation in between them. That is, here it is multiplied, here also it is multiplied, here it is added, here it is multiplied, here 2 is multiplied, then L is added, even the subtraction can come. Look here, y minus x, or y minus 7. Yes, this is also an expression. Look here, z by 15. Here it is divided. This is also an expression. So, these are called the algebraic expressions, which is having with the variables. Now, let us learn how it is formed. For example, look now, x plus 5. How is it formed? This is an expression, is it or not? It is an expression. How is it formed? Can you tell how is it formed? X is added to 5. How is it formed? X is added to 5. Or we can tell 5 is added to x. Isn't it or not? Now, look at another example I will give you. M minus 8. Can you tell how it is formed? 8 is subtracted from m, or m is subtracted to 8. 8 is subtracted from m. Isn't it or not? Now let us see another example. 5n. How will you write this? 5 is, what is the operation here? Here it is multiplication. So we write it as 5 is multiplied by n. Yes? Let us see another one. P by 12. What is the fundamental operation here? Here it is division. P is divided by 12. Yes, this is the way we convert the expression and we can tell how it is formed. Look here, I'll tell you again. Here x plus 5 is, how is it formed? X is added to 5. Here m minus 8, 8 is subtracted from m. 5 and we can write it as 5 is multiplied to n or 5 is multiplied by n. P by 12, how do we write? P is divided by 12. 12 is not divided by P. P is divided by 12. Now we'll see the other way. How do we write the given statements to expressions? I'll give you 15 is added to B. How will you write this? 15 is added to B. 15 is added to B. We can write it as 15 plus B or we can write it as B plus 15. Both are same. Now 3 is subtracted from x. How will you write it? X minus 3. Why did I write x minus 3? 3 is subtracted from x. So x should be in the beginning. So x minus 3. We cannot write it as 3 minus x. Okay. The next one, minus 5q. Here what is the fundamental operation? It is multiplication. This is the negative number. We have learned about integers. Okay. So minus 5 is a negative number. Minus 5 is multiplied to q. How will you write it? Minus 5 is multiplied by q. Okay. One more I'll give you about division. M is divided by, let me give an expression. Oh, okay. I'll give you a sentence. M is divided by 13. How will you write? M divided by 13. This is the way we convert here we have converted the statements to expressions. Okay. So, we have learnt about what do you mean by algebra? Algebra is a branch of mathematics where we use the letters to write the formulas and rules in the general way. That was the first thing. Next we learnt about the variables, constants. Then we learnt about the expressions. Then we learned how to write the expressions in the form of how they are formed. Then we also learnt about the whatever statements is given, how can we write it in the form of expressions. Okay. Hope you have understood, children. This is a new topic for you. It will be continued in your higher classes. Okay. Basics you are learning here in algebra. That's it for today. Let us continue in our next class. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.